new year, it can feel strangely uncomfortable. Not loud, not chaotic, but just off somehow. You're doing things, you're moving forward, but somehow, even though you're putting all this effort in, something doesn't feel quite right. Many people start the new year getting really busy again without first getting clarity, getting aligned, and really understanding what it is that they actually want to achieve with their business. The conversation I'm about to share with you was recorded live on Adelaide's own radio FiveAA with Tracy Yeend and was recorded in exactly this moment in time at the beginning of 2026. And what unfolded about expectations, about shoulds, about noticing what comes up in our body was just too good not to share with you here on the podcast. In this first part, we explore why being busy is not the same as moving forward, and how clarity often comes to us when we stop pushing, stop being busy, and we start listening. I remember when being busy was a hallmark for me that I was useful and I was helpful, and I would constantly be busy all the time. And the problem with being busy trying to prove yourself to everyone is you don't have any time to actually sit very still and think about what you want or what your business might be. And there is although they spelt quite similar, busyness and business, they are very different things.
And so your work is done. I need to leave now.
Stay with us. We'll take a breath.
I obviously got Selena here for very selfish purposes. But anyway, we'll continue. So you talk about the shoulds, like should do all the time. What do these expectations come from, especially as we get older?
Look, I don't think the shoulds I don't think there's more shoulds as we get older. I don't think it's about age. I think it's about responsibility. When we're younger, we don't have so many things to carry. You know, we're a student, a kid, and then suddenly we're a mum. We've got a mortgage. We've got to pay the bill. We've got to get the business going. And suddenly all the shoulds start to pile on us, which is great because then we start to notice how we're not very happy with that. Those shoulds come from culture, society, lessons we learned as a kid about what we should do, what it should look like. And I think as we get older, we have more and more of them piling up, as I say. And so then it starts to feel really draining.
And heavy.
Absolutely. And at that point, we get a choice. Then we get to go, I don't know if I want to should all over myself. Thank you very much.
This adulting thing is hard.
It is. Who gave me an adult certificate? Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. So many people do, though, get to a point in life where their either life or their business or their work looks really good on paper, but something just doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do we know when it's time to actually pause and reassess, I suppose is a good way to put it? How do we align this with our life and our business?
I think the first question about how do we know, for me, it always appears in my body. So I will know when I'm resenting my husband because I'm doing the washing up again, or or I'm feeling really burnt out and tired, or I really don't want to do that thing that used to light me up, you know, in my business. That is when I know that it's all getting too much. I don't know if you can relate to that. Well, I reckon you can. You know, and I think that's when we need to pause and reassess, because it's the shoulds that are driving us. I should wash up because if I don't, no one else will do it. You know, all those voices, and that's when we can catch ourselves and we can reassess and we can make that choice to do things differently.
Is that period then of pause and reassess something that we actually need to do frequently or regularly?
Yeah, look, this is a great question. And I think it depends on how practiced you are and how self-aware you are. I don't think it's like do this every month or every quarter. It's not really a timing thing. It's a rhythm thing. You know, like it's going to depend on what's going on in your life, what you've said yes to, how many things you should have said no to, you know, and how you're feeling in the moment. But it's something that you practice, that conscious awareness of, oh God, I'm feeling resentment. Maybe I need to take a breath here. Maybe I need to share with my partner that I need him to do the washing up or I'm going to cry. You know, like whatever it is, you know, and the more you practice it, the faster you pick up on it. So you never get to that point of burnout, you know, or not as frequently anyway.
Is this the same for men and women? Is it a different kind of heaviness, or do women feel there's a bigger load because of the domestic stuff? Or
I think that's a really interesting question. I work with mostly women. I do have a few male clients. I think the women, because of the cultural aspects of being a woman and the history of our role in the family, in the business, a lot of young women now are having a baby, trying to have the career, trying to have it all. And perhaps we haven't had modeled to us quite yet the strength to say, actually, I'm not going to cook dinner. I'm not going to clean the house. We're trying to do it all rather than having an equal partnership at home. So yeah, I hear it a lot with women, and that sort of, I want to say sort of training almost that we've had that's been passed genealogically down, like what our grandmothers did with what our mothers did, what we're doing. It's kind of in our cultural ecology. But what I love about the young, really young people now is they see that and they're trying to shift that. And there's a lot of work going on. I think men also find themselves overwhelmed. Men will struggle with having too many things on their plate. What I notice is the emotions can be different. Men tend to respond, in my experience, and I'd be keen to hear what you think, with more maybe anger and frustration, whereas a woman might be a bit more resentful and might be, we like to be the good girl and we like to, make sure everybody's okay. We might actually overcompensate rather than just go, no, I'm not doing it. Does that ring true?
Easy.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
How did you find that? Now, before you go, just hold this with you. If being busy has ever felt like proof that you are enough, that you're doing enough, that you're successful, then there's definitely more for us to unpack. In the next part of this conversation, we talk about regulation, motivation, and why pushing harder is often the reason that we keep being stuck. I'll meet you there.